What's up, everybody, and Happy New Year. This is Scott from NoLeftToMetal.com, and it's that time again. Time for another rock and metal update. So what's up, everybody? Yeah, this is going to be my rock and metal update. This one's going to end up being a two-parter because I've got a lot to show, first of all. Second of all, had a couple really good scores at a Goodwill store, and I also went to Phoenix and did some record shopping out there. So I'm going to show the Goodwill and the Phoenix stuff, mostly the Phoenix stuff, in the second video. This first one's going to be mostly stuff that I received as gifts for Christmas and whatnot in December of 2014, and some things that I purchased and stuff like that. So we're going to get right into it because we've got a lot to show, and I'm going to get right to it. So the very first one, Judas Priest. 5 Souls, and this is an EP of songs that were originally recorded for Redeemer of Souls that were not included on the original album. They were included on the bonus CD version, but this is the first time they've been released on vinyl. And this is a 10-inch vinyl on red. I believe it's an opaque red vinyl. If I can get it out of the sleeve. Yes, it is. Very cool opaque vinyl, blood red, and includes 5 songs: Snakebite, Tears of Blood, Creatures, Bring It On, and Never Forget. If you like Redeemer of Souls, chances are you're gonna like this. It's a very good record. This is a gift to me from Bill Bafford, who owns Rox Records, a very good friend of mine, and Bill, really appreciate it. So awesome gift from him. And this one was also from Bill. This is also, that was a Record Store Day release. This is also a Record Store Day release, but this is a Dio and Friends 12-inch single picture disc. And this picture disc features 3 songs from the recently released Dio tribute record, including, I can't remember what the songs are, but Anthrax, Neon Nights, which is fantastic, Rainbow in the Dark by a bunch of different artists that went together, and Straight to the Heart by Hailstrom. And then the second side is a bunch of live songs, 3 live songs from Dio, recorded in, I believe, 2010. Should have looked at that before I started the video. And the all proceeds from this single, or this EP, went to Ronnie James Dio's Cancer Fund, which I think is a great idea. And again, this was a gift from Bill, and I really appreciate you getting this from me, Bill. Very cool. Next one, I haven't even cracked open yet. Can't wait to hear it. Voivod, Target Earth. This is the, I don't know, 13th, 14th album from this band. Canadian, progressive, started off as thrash. Definitely went more progressive, and this is definitely a progressive album. I have to admit, when this album first came out, I was a little skeptical because this album does not have Dennis Amore, Piggy, on guitar, and of course they released a couple albums about Piggy before, but they were mostly using his riffs that he had recorded and written before he passed. This album, not so much as far as I'm aware of, but you know what? I absolutely love this record. When it first came out, I bought it immediately on CD. It was in my car for months. I cycle out CDs out of my car, but that one was just staying there for over and over and over again. It's a fantastic album. It has a heavy edge to it. Definitely prog metal, but people think of prog, tend to think of like Dream Theater or Fate's Warning and that kind of stuff. Not like that at all. Voivod have their own sound. If you like those late 80s and early 90s Voivod albums, chances are you're going to like this one. It's very, very good. I haven't even cracked the plastic on this one yet. Looking forward to checking it out on vinyl for the first time. Yeah, Voivod, Target Earth. I think this is 2013 release. The Darkness, Hotcakes. Really like this band. I know a lot of people don't like him. Was it Justin Hawkins, I believe is the vocalist's name? He's got a very unusual, high-pitched, almost falsetto-style vocals. That's one of the reasons I like him. Very odd, very charismatic, very poppy, very catchy songs. Definitely have an edge. I mean, really, it sounds like pop metal to me. 80s pop metal in the 2000s. This was their third album, third full-length album, and I think the cover art's fantastic. It's hand-drawn. It is a gatefold. And it is on a colored, I guess a syrup colored vinyl, kind of a marbling effect to it, with custom center rings. Yeah, The Darkness, Hotcakes. Happy to finally get this one on vinyl. Got it for a very good price. Oh, another thing about this record that kind of irked me when I first received it. If you look in the corner here, you see there's kind of like a little line here, and if you look on the edges here, there's some more. Looks like a bend here. Looks like a bend there. All this stuff is actually printed as part of the actual packaging. Don't know why. Even the inner sleeve. If you take out the inner sleeve, which is mostly just black, it's got the cracks on it, like it's old. Yeah, all that stuff's actually printed on there. That's the way it's supposed to be. I checked out my CD version of this, and it's definitely like it on the CD as well. Not sure why, what the point of that was, but I guess to make it look vintage or something. This one does have a little bit of a spine split on one side, which is kind of irritating. But for the price I paid, I'm not going to complain, because this album, sells for quite a bit of money, and I got this very, very inexpensive. So, Darkness, Hotcakes. I believe that was also a 2013 release. Anvil, Hope in Hell. Been wanting this one for a long time on vinyl. I've had the CD since it came out. Huge Anvil fan. I buy everything on CD from them the day it comes out. Have since all through the 90s, long before the movie. Have most of their stuff on vinyl as well. One of these days I'm going to do an Anvil vinyl collection and show that on video. But glad to finally get Hope in Hell on vinyl. It's gatefold. And it's a double album with... comes on opaque orange vinyl, if I can get it out. Definitely custom sleeves, lyrics. Let's see if I can find the vinyl here. Here it is. Having an issue here getting the vinyl out. There we go. Orange vinyl with custom Anvil labels. Came with a download card. I'm kind of liking the companies that are putting in CDs. I'd rather have the CD than a download. I don't really use the download cards. I use the CDs. I know Aerosmith music from their last album, music from I'm forgetting the name of it, which is ridiculous since I'm such an Aerosmith fan. But anyhow, that album, their last album came out with a CD. Rox Records put out the Ultimatum record, Heart of Metal with a CD. Deliverance, Weapons of Our Warfare, when it came to the CD. Hyrax, their latest album came with a CD. I kind of like that better than the download card, but that's just me. Probably the collector in me more than anything else. Classic 80s heavy metal, Smash Gladys. Definitely has a glam edge to it. Very cool band picture in there. Thing about a lot of glam metal from the 80s, especially if it's on major labels, it tended to be overproduced and slick. This is not on a major label. This is definitely an indie style recording. Has an edge to it, which is what I like about metal, and I really like this album. I like their second album as well, which was on a major label, but this is on Heavy Metal America, and just a very, very good record from a very underrated American metal band, pop metal band, whatever you want to call them. Picked up the new ACDC, Rock or Bust. This was a $20 record, which it's fairly pricey for vinyl, but it's actually very much worth it. Came with a CD, a free CD, like I said. I'm digging that kind of thing. Has the artwork on the front, which kind of does the explosion thing. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not. It is a gatefold, 180 gram vinyl. Comes with a very nice booklet. I'm not going to go through every page on here, but it's a very awesome booklet. It's got to be at least 24 pages in this booklet. I know people have shown this before in the VC, but yeah, I mean, for 20 bucks, ACDC is one of those bands that have been against the whole downloading, and we're one of the holdouts on going to iTunes and whatnot. I mean, I don't blame them, frankly, and I'm one who prefers the actual physical media. I want to hold the album in my hand. I want the artwork. And if you're going to put a package together, put one together right. Make it worth the money. And this one's definitely worth the money. Like I said, 180 gram vinyl, gatefold, CD included, special edition cover. I mean, this is just the whole package. Honestly, music, I've only listened to it once, and what I heard I really liked. But I like AC/DC in general, so not surprising. Picked this up on the vinyl community sell page on Facebook for a very reasonable price. Candlemass at the Gallows End. EP. This is a 3-song EP. Of course, it has At the Gallows End on the A side, but on the B side we got Solitude and Crystal Ball, which was new version sung by Messiah, and this, of course, were originally on the Epicus Doomicus album, and they were re-recorded for this little EP. Mint condition. I mean, it was never played. Does have one minor little cut in it somewhere, which I can't even find at the moment, which is cool. And of course, it has a little sticker that came with it as well. Don't have a whole lot of I have most of the Candlemass on CD. Don't have a whole lot of Candlemass on vinyl. That's actually the first one I got on vinyl, so I'll now be looking for more. Very happy to have this Christmas present from my mother, Judas Priest. Angel Retribution. Thank you, Mom. I've been wanting this for a long time on vinyl since it came out. This is a Back on Black issue. I know a lot of people have shown it. LJ, Greeno, some of those guys have shown it. This is a gatefold album, 180 grams. So glad they finally put this thing out on vinyl. It deserves to be. It was a fantastic comeback release from when Rob rejoined Priest. I think it's great. Is it as good as, because everybody's really loving the new album. Is it as good as that album? I actually think Angel Retribution is as good or better. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's Priest. They're all good. I'm just glad they were with the new album that they returned to their straightforward metal style and got away from all the storytelling and whatnot that they were doing. But yeah, Angel Retribution, white vinyl, custom label. Super psyched to finally have this. So awesome Christmas present that I opened up on Christmas morning at my mom's house, and very cool of her to pick that up for me. She grabbed it off of my Amazon wish list. So this one too was from my mom. Opened on Christmas morning. Haven't cracked the plastic on it yet. I've had this one on CD since it came out. The new Sanctuary, World Dane. This sounds a lot like Nevermore. People can say what they want, but it features World Dane and Jim Shepard from Nevermore, who were two of the main songwriters from Nevermore. And this sounds a lot like Nevermore. It does have some edge of Sanctuary as well, because of the guitar playing. I mean, you don't have Jeff Loomis, so Jeff Loomis was a big part of Nevermore sound. Without that, that's where you get more of your Sanctuary sound on this one. It sounds closer to Into the Mirror Black rather than Refuge Denied. Warhol Dane does not do any of those high-pitched into the ceiling screams like he does on that first album, Refuge Denied. You're not going to hear I don't know, I'm not even going to attempt to do his vocals. But yeah, this is a great record. This is a gatefold as well. It is 180 gram vinyl. Like I said, haven't cracked it open yet. Looking forward to checking it out on vinyl for the first time. Sanctuary. This is a 2014 release. And I do have a review of this on my site if you want to read my full thoughts on it. The Year the Sun Died. Matter of fact, most of these records that I've shown, save for the Smash Gladys, I already have reviews on my nolightsandmetal.com site you can check out. So. Triton, an old 80s Christian metal band, often compared to Rush. Sorry, distracted by the music in the background. Great record. I can't remember if it was their first or second one. They only released 2 records. This is, I believe this was their first one. Celestial Messenger. Definitely sounds a lot like Geddy Lee on vocals, but I mean, if they got to be influenced by Rush, there's no doubt about it. But they're a little heavier than Rush, a little more metal than Rush, and especially during this time of the '80s, more guitar-oriented, less keyboard-oriented. Great record. Stoked to get this one. Picked this one up for a very reasonable price. I've been looking for it for a long time. The second full-length album from Saint. I believe this was 87, 88. Too Late for Living. I have their first EP, Warriors of the Sun, as well as Time's End, the first album on Pure Metal, first full-length album. This was their third. I've had this album on CD since the day it came out. I bought it. That was one of the first CDs I ever purchased, and I still have the original CD pressing of that. But glad to have it on vinyl finally. Can't remember if this has an insert in it or not. Yes, it does. So there's the insert inside of it. The lyrics on the back side. And this is on the classic Pure Metal label. Might as well crank that out as quick as well. There it is. It's upside down. Pure Metal. I love Saint. This is Saint, one of those bands that I revisit a lot, and they're especially their first 3 albums. And those guys are still together and still cranking stuff out. Josh Kramer, vocalist, sounds a lot like Halford. That's where they get their comparison to Priest. I still think Saint have their own sound. I wouldn't confuse them with Priest. Sticking with the Christian metal theme, glad this finally was released on vinyl. Mortification. This is released on Soundmass in Australia on black vinyl. This had never been released on vinyl before. Their second album and their third album hadn't been released on vinyl. This one was not. I don't know why. But this album was produced by Roger Martinez of Vengeance Rising fame. And the sound is very, it's you know, most people would say death metal. I'd call it more death thrash. Has a lot in common with the whole like the German scene. Of course, Mortification were an Australian band, but their sound definitely influenced by that, you know, that Sodom Creator destruction kind of sound, and extreme vocals. There's an insert inside this one as well. Of course, Mortification is still together today. Steve Rowe, the main guy in the band these days. This is, most people consider this the classic lineup: Jason Sherlock, Michael Carlisle. This coming up year, Rox is going to be releasing the Break the Curse album for our 25th anniversary on vinyl, which I'm really looking forward to getting as well. Mortification, Until the End, Brutal Warfare, Bathed in Blood, Satan's Doom, Turn, No Return, Break the Curse, New Awakening, Destroyer Beholds, Journey of Reconciliation, and Majestic Infiltration of Order, aka God Rules. Great record. Love this album. Classic artwork by drummer Jason Sherlock as well, The Lake of Fire. This next album was also a gift. Did a trade with VC member Keith Tabler. Keith is just a cool cat, and he always hooking me up, and we're always doing trades. And this one came, it was a shock. I wish I would have done a live opening, but unfortunately, I didn't realize there was this surprise in there, because I'm sure I had a look of like, on my face when I opened it up, because I had no idea he sent this. Everyone who watches my channel knows I'm a huge Aerosmith fan, and he hooked me up with Aerosmith Sweet Emotion and promos 12-inch single from Pandora's Box. I actually have this single on CD, but didn't even know it existed on vinyl. So glad to have it. It also has Subway and Circle Jerk, two outtakes from the 70s that are on the box set. Were never released on vinyl before. And yeah, just a very cool gift from Keith. Keith, I really appreciate it, man. Keith does not do videos yet that I know of, but I know he's got a massive collection, and I'm really hoping he does videos in the future. Yeah, so thanks, Keith. And then the rest of these that I'm going to be showing also came from Keith. We traded four singles for a couple things that I had, and then he threw in a couple extras as freebies. And if you guys have been watching my channel recently, you know that I've been getting into Marillion recently, and picked up a bunch of 12-inch singles. So we got Part of Lothian with Chelsea Monday as a B-side, live version. Most of the B-sides on these 12-inch singles are unreleased outside of, you know, these singles. They weren't released on albums. Marillion, Punch, and what is it? Oh yeah, Punch and Judy. Jeez, I mean, can it be any bigger than that? And I can't read it. Punch and Judy. And there are two B-sides on this one. And the artwork on these things are fantastic as well. Garden City with Charting and Margaret. And Charting, I believe, is a single version of it, or a live version. Yeah, live at the Hammersmith Odeon. But actually, so is Margaret. Both recorded in 1983 at the Hammersmith Odeon. Marillion, He Knows You. With Charting the single on the back. This one's kind of bizarre because the B-side is called Grendel, and it is a 18-minute track. It's very rare you see an 18-minute track on the B-side on the single. But yeah, Market Square Heroes is the A-side. Very cool artwork again. And finally, Lavender. And this too has a couple B-side singles. Lavender Blue, and then B-side is Freaks and Lavender. So yeah, those are all from Keith as well. Keith, I really appreciate it, man. You rule. Really do hope you start doing some videos real soon. And then finally, this last one I'm going to show is I had given away my Damn Yankees High Enough single. Was signed by Nugent. I gave it away to a guy on the VC. Ben, and out in Austria. But I found this one in the store very cheap, in perfect condition. It even has a little jukebox, whatever those things are called, the little jukebox slip inside of it, and it's in the original Warner Brothers. I picked this up for like $2 or $3 in perfect condition, so I'm glad to have it back in my collection again. I'm a huge Nugent fan, and the B-side on this Pile Driver, heavy Nugent song. It's a shame that he doesn't pick this up and play it live, you know, as part of his set, because it's a great song. And then of course High Enough was a big hit single for Damn Yankees. So that's it for part 1. So yeah, keep tuned for part 2. We should have it up in the next day or so. And that's it. God bless. Stay strong.